Yo, what's the
What's the
deal,
deal?
man? Welcome back to episode 4 of the
shoot.
Dap Up.
Man, what's going on, y'all? We a month in. We appreciate the love for sure.
4 weeks.
4 weeks is crazy. Like, we made it happen though. So
Yeah.
definitely excited. So again, welcome to the Dap Up. It's your boy B Golden.
And it's your boy Robbie Rob.
Man, and
As y'all know.
we about to chop it up. Per usual, we already know the deal. We
Today.
come to y'all with some thoughts, and then y'all vibe with us, and then we vibe with y'all in the chat. So today, we about to talk about something a little bit deeper than usual, than the usual that we done had on the channel. But we're gonna talk about trauma, yo. So episode's called Trauma Dump. We just want to give y'all a little insight to, like, how to navigate, give you little stories from us, and really kind of dive deep into this and kind of come to a consensus, if you will, on how trauma affects us, but just how you move as a person. So, go ahead, my boy.
All right. So since he passed it off to me, like you guys know, we always like to cover all lenses, right? So pretty much to look at them from the normal lens, which is the lens that everybody really looks at it from, and then try to take it from a different standpoints that other people might not exactly have looked at, or take it to consideration on the daily. And we also have some personal anecdotes about today. So to kick us off, I think we'll just talk about it as is. We'll just talk about it as a whole.
Yeah, like what's
at
trauma,
base,
my boy?
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
at base.
What that
trauma.
look like?
What does that look like? What is, what I'm saying? What is the normal trauma that we're used to, right? And I think when everybody say trauma, we think about the biggest things.
Yeah.
We think about shit
that's
like
that's not how it works, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So we think about the bigger thing, which is always like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And disclosure before we even get into this, since we are talking about trauma, if you are dealing with trauma right now, you know what I'm saying, you feel like this might be a sensitive topic for you, please feel free to just, you know what I'm saying, take your time with this episode, because we might cover some things that might be a little touchy for you and don't want you to be triggered. That's just a disclaimer here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Now, outside of that, like some bigger things that I was about to say. I mean, if you had something, you could definitely say, but I'll just start with one of the biggest traumas.
No. It's not funny, but like that is a big piece of the pie, right? Like, or a big topic of discussion when it comes to trauma. If I were to I guess expand on the idea of trauma, because I thought you was coming from a different lens from there, is that trauma is not always big, and that's what we associate it with, but I definitely see why, but most things that are traumatic seem big to us. Now, going off of what my boy Rob is talking about, is definitely something that is a very traumatic event. The reason why I feel like overall that's a flagship example, if you will, is because trauma is the idea of an experience actually shaping how you move within your life, right?
Right.
And traumatic events affect us mentally and physically. Obviously, with something as heavy as, I can't even imagine.
Let's not use that word. Let's say SA.
Sexual
assault. Let's say sexual assault.
By default. So SA is not a game. It's something that, obviously women are more subjected to than men in a lot of cases, but I'm not gonna sit there and act as if men aren't as well. But when you're taken advantage of or put in a position where you're weak or vulnerable, that sticks with you. That mentally changes you from, how you trust people, how you move around people, even being yourself out loud. You kind of start to reserve because that traumatic experience has now stuck with you. It's something that is recalled over and over again. And physically, that could be draining. Depression is a real thing, and it's something that we don't talk about a lot. But traumatic events can lead to bigger issues along the line when it comes down to it. So very flagship example. I feel like a lot of times when we think of trauma, that's something that comes to the forefront. It's like big events that really put an impact on you.
Okay. Yeah, facts. So, and to kind of build on that, of course, that's what we just kind of explain what was the basic understanding, right? That's our
Yeah.
basic understanding, or what people basically view. Now, the lens that I wanted to kind of view it from, and why we kicked it off was like that because what does those effect look like? Does that effect look like on a person, right? And we know what the usual effects of SA look like, right? But I think people don't pay attention to some of the other signs that are out there too, bro. And this is why I say it's such a sensitive topic, because I know this is from a personal experience of one of my friends I used to have, right? A lot of people feel like, okay, SA, this would look like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this person is gonna be real restrictive, like they're not gonna want to really be around people, this and that, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Or, they kind of don't want too many interactions and stuff like that, right? I feel like that's the normal or base level that everybody know about trauma. Like, okay, this is what that looks like. That person is avoidant. That person doesn't like to be, but nobody looks at the other side, which is this person is hypersexual or overly sexual or comes off so freaked out or stuff like that because of the early experience.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I feel like is ignored a lot in our society because it's not only the women either.
Yeah, no, 100%.
There are numerous of men. I know numbers of men who have been assaulted in that way that it's messed with them to the point where, like you said, trauma it starts to change your decision making and your actions. It's to the point to where they were sexually assaulted at a young age, to the point, bro, like they're freaks. Like that's their way. Like that's a different thing for them. It's literally a chemical change where they were exposed so early to where that's their way of navigation now.
100%. And piggybacking off what you said, like trauma physically, right, or outwardly can come out in different ways. Like you said, hypersexuality because of SA, or that avoidant personality, which is more common in a lot of cases, or even manic moods and hyperaggression, stuff of that nature. Like trauma is something that is experienced, and then it affects you at a baseline level. It changes the baseline for you. You used to be like this. Trauma has affected you to now be like this. You know what I mean? So no, it's not talked about enough that people, you just finding the signs. For me, when it comes to being there for a friend that's going through some trauma, by default, that's your friend. You should know them. But like seeing those micro changes, because a lot of times when trauma comes through, it does come in micro changes. It can come in major changes as well. But like look for those changes and kind of understand the person that you know as your friend and go from that angle. If your friend was to, seem more sexual or more manic or just doing something that's just out of the norm, be there for them. I'm not one to full blown pry, but let them know that you are there for them, because that's another thing that goes in with trauma is like what your support system look like.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Now,
like,
let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
I feel like you about to jump.
Yeah.
Before we get to where
we
cover this one spot. But no, that's all right. We going there. We gonna get there though. I just didn't want you to cover something that but real quick. But that's where I want to agree with you at. Is like once we see those effects, right? And like you said, like when it comes from the people around you and all the things like that, that brings the first question of the day to you, right? You said from a personal experience, you don't have to exactly disclose, what type of trauma it was for you, but like, where do you feel like you would be right now, or how do you feel like that trauma shaped you today? Like, where would you be with? Like, do you feel like the trauma helped you in a way, or how did it shape you? Like, beneficial, non-beneficial?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like from a personal experience of going through my own traumas, like I've done therapy, I've talked with friends and all that stuff. The way trauma has shaped me, for sure, because my trauma comes from just my relationships with women. Like for whatever reason, I feel like X, I do Y, and then I end up here. So my trauma, I would say, has affected me positively from this perspective of it's made me more reserved, but in a mature way. Like I don't let everybody in all the time now. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit here and just outwardly just give somebody 100% of me. No, there has to be a value there. And going off of what you said, it can be positive or negative. A negative trait that I know for a fact that I'm struggling with, I do not trust women right now. That's just a fact. I feel like I have a very staunch perspective of women because of the times that we're in. I don't like being valued strictly for what I do for you. I like being valued for me as well as what I can do for you.
Right.
And I think there's no there's not a importance on the me aspect. Now it's a what you can do. So that's something that was a traumatic experience for me because of the relationships I've been in. Now, granted, I mean, is that necessarily a negative? I don't think so, but I think it's a negative for me because I used to be a certain way. And I know for a fact my trauma has changed me to not want to trust and do things of that nature. So that's how I would answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a cool starting point. So now I want to pretty much build on the fact that you said it's affecting how you approach your relationships, right?
Yeah.
It affects how you look at other women, how you expect them to act, things of that nature. With that being said, how often do you think your trauma carries over into other relationships when it shouldn't?
So me personally, I feel like I've done a lot of work. I consciously try to not take my trauma and carry, but I do feel like, especially when it's fresh, right? When it's fresh, you carrying that. Facts. You bring that with you. That's the baggage that you don't want to bring, but it's almost involuntary because it's fresh, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And fresh, y'all gotta understand, fresh could be like 1 to 2 years, 3 years. Like trauma, because of how impactful it is, that's still fresh for a person. That's why some people be like, oh, when was the last relationship you was in? Oh, I was in a relationship a year ago. You probably still dealing with stuff with that because you carry the experiences that you have and they shape the way you approach. So for me, I've done the work to try not to bring these perspectives strictly into every relationship. Like I know when it's seeping out and I try to reel back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the clear cut answer is I feel like I still bring them in a relationship. By default, if I approach a woman, I have a set perspective off rip. If you show me something different, my brain is like, come on, bro, don't let the trauma hold you back from something that could be good, a friendship, a relationship, anything. So like, I know for a fact my trauma is with me. I'm still working on it, you know what I'm saying? But I did the work for it. So I think most people bring their trauma with them, whether they want to admit to it or not. That's just what it is.
Okay. And I have a different viewpoint of that. I feel like sometimes, and that's why I said, do you feel like you knowingly bring that trauma into your other relationship? Because I feel like sometimes people unknowingly bring the trauma into the relationship. People unknowingly carry certain things because I feel like we just covered a lot of the internal traumas. Those are things like, oh, these are things that happen to me internally directly. I don't think we pay attention enough to indirect traumas, right? And to just pivot off of, one of our comments that we did have in the chat where they said like, trauma can actually be turned into purpose.
Yeah.
But not really looked at as a good thing, right? So what I mean by that is like, think about all the external things that has affected the way we move, the way we think, the way we expect things from others. That's also a trauma in itself because people don't even see that shit, bro. But they carry it around all the time. And I'm gonna get to the point where I'm meaning is just like, this is what I like to call, you have trauma coming from family, you have trauma coming from friends, you have trauma coming from work. And a lot of people don't even know that you're conditioned within this trauma itself.
Yeah.
So it's not even a trauma to you no more. It's the norm.
Yeah.
But for others, they able to look in and be like, bro, my life before you came in was peaceful. You're bringing over things and I'm peeping this energy on you. And you might be like, damn, like, what do you mean? Like, this is just me navigating. But
so what I would say to what you're saying is I think that's why you have to be more conscious in the way you move, right? So to your point, I think people mistake traumas as norms. You get what I'm saying? It's like you have been, exposed to, say, family trauma is definitely something that you were exposed to over time, for a long time too. You'll end up thinking that's a norm when really you're just operating out of your own traumas. You know what I'm saying? And you're just bringing it unknowingly because that's facts. People don't are not conscious enough to notice like, yo, I'm bringing this from this. That's why when you go into therapy, they ask you all these lists of questions to get a baseline. Be like, you know what? You're most likely carrying this from here, and then you like, dang, I ain't never catch it that way. But it's because traumas that, especially chronic traumas, those become a norm. So you operate in that norm, and then you can't jump out of that norm. I got tons of friends that have gone through experiences and, like you said, turned them into power, as well as it could be something very negative that just kind of sticks with them and they don't even be noticing because it's just a piece of the pie at that point.
Okay, well, which brings me to that'll bring me to my next question then. So since you feel like you said in our culture, you said you feel like people need to be more conscious or feel like, you know, seek to be more conscious about themselves. And when it comes outside, I want to see how conscious you are about this. Then let's see, because I feel like it's kind of hard to be so. And what I mean is my next question is what parts of you then, outside of relationships, do you think has been formed navigating in a space of trauma, right? To where it has been built on not your preference, but protection.
Okay. So, I mean, by the way, by default, like when I move, just in the streets, I guess you could say, or like clubbing, any type of like event or something, my head stay on a swivel, bro. It stay on that swivel because like I've been in rooms where cuz done pulled out the gun and shot half the club up, and I'm just standing there trying to figure out my next move. That's a traumatic experience that like, then shot me, like it got me where I'm like, yo, I gotta keep my head on the swivel for my family as well as my friends.
Let's pause.
All right, now.
Now I would like to say I feel like, and this is why I'm so happy you said that, bro, because the reason I asked that question when I said what parts of you do you feel like was formed by protection and not by your preference, like this is how I want to be, it's more like this is how I got to be to protect myself. That falls into my next category, which is like these are traumas that are out of our control. We have social traumas, we have environmental traumas, we have generational traumas. See, people only care about the big word, the broad term trauma, but what you just described, bro, is the trauma of our generation, the trauma of also our culture. Because if I took you out of that situation, which is a club on 7 Mile, a club down, over there somewhere, and I sat you over in fucking Sterling Heights, and you're in a bar in Sterling Heights, you're not doing all of this in Sterling Heights because you're not in the hood.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
You're out of the environment that you're conditioned in.
Because then what I
for
say
that trauma, you see what I'm saying?
What I say,
and you know how people say that all the time.
So then, what I say to your point, and it's a phrase as old as time. You're a product of your environment, right?
Exactly.
So by default, like, am I head on a swivel in Sterling Heights? Me personally, it's kind of just a piece of me to be alert at this point. But I'm not going to sit here and pump fake like I'm over here like full blown Lakeside Mall. No, I'm not doing that. Now, when I'm over here in the city, okay, alerts up because I know where I'm at. I know what comes in this area to a certain degree, or my own prejudices. Prejudices? Man, don't get me on the words. Don't get your boy on the words.
I'm not a fucking.
But no, I know where I'm at, so I'm like, I might have to be a little bit more alert today. Or I know, like for example, I got one funny story. Shoot, I got my ass bit by a dog, by my auntie dog. I was a toddler still. I tried to jump over the damn fence type deal. Like, or no, I wasn't no toddler, like 6, 7 type deal. Bruh, trying to jump over the fence, Bruce bit my ass. I'm like, damn.
The buns.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
that's crazy.
Cool with dogs again.
That's crazy, but like, I guess that's an example of I didn't allow that trauma to affect me because like what I learned from that trauma is like maybe my anxious energy had turned Bruce up, and then Bruce just tried to take a bite. It is what it is. Cause I love dog, bro. I love dog, bro. Come on, bro. That's no pause, man. It's the dog. But yeah, like that's where I'm at. It's like it's whatever you try to make your trauma into. Like some things are truthfully just horrific, but some things, because there are other traumas that are more, mild, but do shape the way you move. Because again, you're a product of your environment. So no, that's a good. I get what you was going at with that question for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that was pretty much what I also had asked to chat that too. Was just like pretty much just building on basically how can you like where you come from or like where you was raised or how you was raised. How can that really reinforce or like buffer that trauma? So that's pretty much what I was trying to get around or get to with that, because I think that's ignored a lot too.
Well then, shoot, let me ask you a question then. So like, how do you approach trauma when it happens to you? Do you retreat, or do you kind of like take it in, analyze, be like, damn, this shit got me like this?
I don't lie. I can honestly say that I resonate with the. I think I wanted to say this for the next topic, but we're gonna use this as a segue to go into the next topic then, because I navigate as the unknown trauma, right? Or the invisible trauma. What that looks like is what a lot of our people is out here, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there can resonate with this. The unknown trauma is like you would never know any of the shit I've been through. I don't never look like what I've been through or what I'm going through. My trauma, I turn that shit into, like they said, like my drive. Like, nigga, anytime I look back at some shit I've been through or like some shit I'm going through, I'm like, all right, watch me turn up. Watch me show niggas like you shouldn't have fucked me over. Yeah. Or you shouldn't have did that to me. You shouldn't have hurt me that way. Or you shouldn't have, you just burnt that bridge. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like and I ain't gonna lie, I can be transparent about this. Most of my trauma come from within my family. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, some of the hardest things you gotta deal with come from blood, come from the closest niggas, the closest people to you. So if it got to do with any, and that's what it also formed me in a different way, because it being the fact that nigga I was hurt by most of the people that I'm closest to, it built me in a way to where nigga, if you're not a person that I'm even that close to, you don't even have the power to do so, my nigga. Mm-hmm. You don't even. I will never give a person outside of my immediate family the power to even give me trauma. I ain't gonna lie. And the thing is I feel like my family has so much shit going on to where I'm desensitized to a lot of shit. That's what I was about to say. And we was raised around a lot of shit. You feel me? And just being young, nigga, like our trauma is normalized as fuck, nigga. We don't jump at bullets no more. We don't jump at gunshots no more. That's trauma. That's trauma, nigga. When I hear people arguing and shit, I'm triggered by certain things. Why? Because nigga, we was raised in an arguing family. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why I'm so confrontational, why I'm so argumentative, that's trauma, bro. You're traumatized because you're conditioned to respond aggressively. Mm-hmm. You're traumatized in a way to where this is your response because nigga, this is all I've known. You feel me? I never, and the thing is like, and it looks different, especially when it's traveled over or like carried over, like you said, into relationships and shit. My trauma is avoidant. It's like, nigga, once you make me feel a certain type of way or you put me back in that headspace, I'm the most avoidant nigga ever. Yeah. I'm the most shut down nigga ever because I never had nobody. And my pops was a wonderful pops, but nigga, nobody ever sat me and my brothers down and told us how a man should deal with his emotions, how a man should deal with certain things that he goes through or he may go through, or if this should happen or if this should happen.
Okay, so then let me ask you this before you go too far. Even though he didn't have that sit down, right? Do you still feel like how you handle certain things is modeled by what you may have seen him handle his traumas or what he was going through?
No, I feel like
yours is completely different.
I had to get my own understanding.
You had to get your own.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like, nigga, it's so easy. Me and my brothers is 9 months apart. Mm-hmm. 27, 26, 25. And nigga, if you put me and these two niggas on this podcast together, you will not see how all of us, I mean, you're going to tell we brothers, but nigga, we all learned our own way. Like you will be able to see that, nigga, like you will see how there's a certain shit. Not only did we go through we had shared trauma, nigga, but we dealt with it differently. We processed it differently and it affected us differently. but we all was in the same crib.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really one of the craziest things I say. Like, nigga, that'll really show you on its own that like trauma is not a single road, gang. Like that
No,
shit.
everybody
Yeah, everybody
different.
experiences trauma in different ways, bro. So
Because that's it's interesting you say that, because I feel like that's something that isn't discussed either. When growing up, you gotta have a solid role model to look up to, and or like a framework to look into to know how to deal with trauma. Like for me, I was always the kid who wanted to learn about the mind, psychology, and all that stuff. Like literally, I wanted to be a psychologist. Point being is like I always was trying to get to the bottom of why the heck did I feel like how I felt, and that's why I do feel like I really do consciously come into scenarios and like I'll end up talking to myself about like, man, was you tripping? Or ooh, dang, that was kind of crazy. I'm not about to handle it this way. Like again, when it comes to even my, how I carry myself outside, like I know because of certain things that I dealt with either family or external forces through school, college, all that stuff, I move accordingly because of those scenarios. Because like for me, for example, people think that I look mean all the time. I don't even know if it's a me looking mean. I think that's because of what I dealt with.
I'm being honest.
Like
you don't look mean to me ever.
That's because I don't. Ever. Hey, if man, let me go ahead and take a break so I can make that make sense. Cause like with you, bro, on some weird, like I feel like we just matched up in terms of being cool. That like you never caught that. Like I was like, oh, this dude cool. So you caught me on some chummy. But like what? Like on some, oh, he's cool. Like okay. So like I don't think you ever, but like
so if you seen me like
bro, like
past your ass, I ain't know.
If we didn't work together and we didn't chop it up like immediately,
you gonna mug face me, nigga?
Like bro, you would have walked past me and been like, according to everybody else. Matter of fact, let me say it like that. According to everybody else, if we wasn't just on some cool stuff at work, chopped it up off the jump, you been like,
I'd walk past you like, geez,
like, damn, what's wrong with gang?
What's this guy's problem?
They swear, but I feel like I got that because like it wasn't nothing to laugh about at a certain point in my life. So like I just be walking through and I got it on my face and it just stuck that way. Sometimes I be feeling like it's like I don't laugh until it's time to laugh almost.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question. How long do you go, or how long have you gone? Do you feel like we know people don't, but if you were to have to talk about your traumas, who do you trust the most to like confide in? Who's your person to confide in?
If I was to keep it a bean, my friends.
Your friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I were to, like, all my guys have been solid enough to me where like I can come to them and yo, bro, I need to talk to you. And it is a judgment-free zone. They know they can come to me and we just chop it up. My family, absolutely not. Except my sister. My sister, we chop it up. But that even that relationship had to grow into that. You know what I'm saying? But like my friends, them is the people I come to have a conversation because A, I know they're gonna listen. They gonna at least listen. B, they gonna try to talk to me from a place of care. And then C, at the end of the day, they going through stuff too, so they empathize a lot easier. I feel like with my family, they couldn't empathize because they came from a different time frame. And by default, because they have a certain way of looking at life, it's you can't teach old dogs new tricks situation. It's like, you're just not going to get it. Yeah. And me keep going back and forth with you, it's causing more trauma. And that's throwing me it's causing more trauma. And that's throwing me off at this point. Like, so like, yeah, I did get reserved in that. But now that I done moved down and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like more open and honest conversations pop off. I mean, even when it came down to it, like I used to talk to my dad to a certain degree too. But you know, like it's still, I feel like I gravitated towards I know for a fact that my family be like, you care so much about your friends. I'm like, listen, when the mud was in the dark, let me tell you, Unfortunately, it was them mugs that was right there.
We get into that directly next. But
That was
I
right.
do want to kind of comment on something I saw in the chat too, though, because I had to think about that. Now, when it comes to resting bitch face or whatever they call RBF, a lot of people look at it as, like they said, protection. Like for women, when they out, they want to look mad or like, you know, kind of don't mind looking mean because it keeps them protected. It keeps them from, and
No,
that's a trauma. And tell me this though, do y'all consider that a trauma in itself? Because
yeah, that's
it's
what I was gonna
basically
ask.
y'all so traumatized that niggas can't
It's
take
just easier to look
rejection
mean. Yeah.
or niggas, you know, crazy nowadays that, hey, I gotta walk outside and be like,
Yeah.
I can't even have a
Now
good
that's a
day
good
and like
question.
smile and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, but like, I just want to know. I feel like that's not even, that's a societal trauma because some girls haven't even been, and if you have, I'm not talking about you, but some girls haven't even been snapped on or like cut into when you say no. You know what I'm saying? Like if they say no to a guy, they haven't experienced it. But just because they heard it, like, hey, niggas be out here tweaking. Never happened to me, but niggas be out here tweaking. I'm gonna walk around with my face scrunched up.
So what I would say to that
Uh-huh.
is, excellent question. It's like, where did your specific reason for, maybe having that protection up, walking around being less approachable come from? But going to what you was getting into being, hey, shared trauma is a real thing too.
Right.
So like, if you got 100 females that have actually gone through, men being overly, on them and stuff, and now they've become this they will, then in part let other women know, hey, if you don't want to deal with this, or not even let them know, because I'm pretty sure y'all don't have like powwows talking about some, hey, make sure you got your resting bitch face. Like,
say,
like,
bitch, when you go outside today, I better see you.
Don't smile. Do not smile. Like, I don't think it's like that.
Upside down.
But I definitely feel like, I definitely feel like trauma can be influenced, as in like you can kind of project it onto a person. Like if I'm walking around like, man, bitches ain't shit. They just not. Ugh, I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Like eventually the people around me gonna be like, I might hate them too. Cause like, because if they going through, watch this. Yeah. Say I say that a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And then they finally go through an experience, like they just go through one experience with a female that just wasn't it. They gonna be like, dang, that's what B was talking about. I don't like these motherfuckers either. Like, because now I done tainted your palate damn near. Right. I done projected my traumas onto you, and then you had one bad experience, or you didn't even have no bad experience. You didn't adopted my trauma.
You didn't adopt how I feel. You didn't adopted my emotions about the shit.
Yeah, you adopted my emotions about it, and that's a real thing. People are empaths in general for the most part. I feel like people are empaths. So if you come in a room and you're mad, people can feel that, and that might make them feel weird as well.
Yeah, that's
a real thing. People are empaths whether they want to admit to it or not. Some people are more rigid and don't get affected by other people's emotions, but on a general baseline, I feel like most people are empaths and can feel bad energy.
Okay, so how do you feel about this statement? If my friends is feeling it, I'm feeling it too.
I mean, in that particular scenario, I would say that's a to each his own, because I do believe in autonomy.
Now,
I do believe in
we have sympathy and we have empathy.
Right.
I think it's a time and place for both.
Good answer.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's how I would
answer. Depending on what your friend is feeling, I feel like empathy is when you acknowledge that person's feelings. I mean, sympathy is when you acknowledge that person's feelings. Empathy is attaching those emotions to yourself. Now,
right.
I only feel like in certain cases where both are necessary. But that's my point of view. Is like a lot of times, my point of view on that comment is more so like, I'm not gonna ever feel how my friend feels, but I'm always feel for my friend. Do that make sense?
That makes sense
because yeah.
Where do I want to go with that? Your answer is clean. It's like I just want to tweak it a tiny bit, just because like, okay, there's a time and place for sympathy, empathy, but I feel like sympathy, I wouldn't use that. It's just a time and place for empathetic response.
Right.
Because like sympathy, it always comes with that connotation like you feeling sorry for a person, which is okay. But like I feel like empathetic response is always gonna come over more genuine. So I do try to put myself in the shoes, but I don't let it override what I need to tell you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if you just went through a breakup, I can empathize with that. But I'm not going to allow my empathetic response to be guided strictly by how you're feeling.
Okay.
That way I can actually give you good advice. Otherwise, if I'm like, man, yeah, fuck that. I'm not giving you no good advice. I'm over here hey, you mess with my dog, shoot, you out. Now, that's where I'm
fuck
like,
y'all up with this next one.
What's the name? So
I'm about to fuck y'all up with this next one. Now, this is why I said this, right? This is my segue. I'm about to fuck y'all up. Now, how many of y'all have had that friend or y'all feel like, you know what, let me rephrase this. Have you guys ever had somebody use their trauma almost as if it's a currency? Now let me
yeah, for sure.
Let me elaborate.
For sure.
Some people live in trauma purposely, I feel like. Now, I feel like this is a very, very touchy subject, but misery loves company and sometimes misery loves attention. Some people will stay in fog when they have the opportunity to get out of fog just because of the attention and care that they get when they are in that fog, which is like, oh, my friends are definitely going to call me and come check up on me all the time. Or anytime I feel like I just want to go hang with my girl, I can hit her with the girl. I need to talk. I got something going on, something on my mind.
Yeah, trauma is weaponized.
Trauma can definitely be weaponized. Yeah. And I hate that shit. But just think about how hard it is to decipher it, to catch it. Like, think about how hard it is for you to sit there and be like, nigga, didn't you just call me last week saying something was going on? But you don't want to say it. But like, it's just like, this motherfucker, it's real convenient for you to be going through something right now. You know what I'm saying?
So, I'll give
it right to you right after this. And now it's crazy because one of our goddamn people in the comments just said what I was gonna say, which is parents. It's so common amongst parents.
I was about to say.
Oh my God, bro.
I was about to say too. Yeah, I think that parents for sure, especially from the boomers, the boomers, like, I mean, literally our parents' generation, period. Unfortunately, because of everything that they went through, the struggles and the tribulations and all that jibber jab, and even the parenting that they had to go through, they project as well as weaponize that on a day-to-day, and it causes so much. It causes such a rift in between us as the children and them being the parent, because it's like, okay, I get that you went through that. I'm sorry to hear that. But like, I'm going through something completely different, as well as I'm growing up in a different time frame. Now, what I was going to say also, though, I hope I ain't lose my train of thought, but like, literally when it comes to trauma being weaponized, the rule I have of thumb for that is like, if the individual is stuck in it, it's okay to be there for them. But you have to also understand your social battery, okay? Like, at a certain point, I feel like discernment is key. No, you're milking it now. like let go of the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're milking it now. I think, and this is where I'm about to throw that gender segment into it a little bit. Okay. Is that, unfortunately, I feel like women deal with it more than men, because as men, we're taught to, hey, stop bitching. You know what I'm saying? Deal with it. Attack the trauma. Turn it into power. Use it as motivation. Because that's a part of our growth as men, is that, yo, you're gonna deal with crap all the time. Get over it. Okay? So I feel like men don't even deal with trauma because we just put it on the back burner and be like, we'll deal with it.
Mm.
We'll just kind of skip it.
See, that's
Women, I feel like, in my opinion, they're allowed to feel more. So when they go through their traumas, unfortunately, they'll go through it as long as they need to. I don't think that they always attack it at a high level because you're more or less allowed to feel. You're allowed to kind of deal with it in your own time. That's why women are allowed, like, you see those power hour groups like, girl, it's gonna be okay. Let's go get ice cream. Like, I haven't gotten ice cream with my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we chop it up. Hey, bro, it's gonna be okay. Just figure that shit out, man.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
So,
and I don't think that's healthy. As men, I feel like, yeah, we need to attack trauma a little bit differently. But also, you can't get stuck in it, though, either, to the best of your ability. Because some things are too traumatic. Like, some things I feel like take more time than others. So, discernment. That's where I'll go with it. Discernment, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so which brings me to my next thing. Like I said, as far as just like people using it as a currency.
No, you okay. I was thinking about something. That's my fault.
So as far as people like using it as a currency, I think, somebody said it good in the chat too. Just like parents, sometimes I do feel like they be feeling trapped or like they got nobody to turn to because, sometimes unfortunately they do lose their parents before time.
That's fair too.
And stuff like that. And there's a lot of things that, just our generation in general haven't really been taught how to deal with. And just, yeah, that's just in general, So our parents they didn't have, I'm not gonna lie, the best teachings either. Honestly, I would say they didn't have the best teachers either. So when their traumas go
unchecked,
just completely ignored for years, absolutely it's kicked down to the kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even my dad said himself, bro, he didn't have his father. You know what I'm saying? My pops told me straight up, like, he didn't have his father, and that affected how he raised his sons or how he, different things like that. Because why? Generational trauma is passed down. That's the thing. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. That generational trauma is passed down, and sometimes it's so bad to where it's invisible, to where it's such a norm now within that generation that it's just like that's not even a trauma until some chaotic happens or something, which I can understand because shit, things that go unresolved like that, it's a goddamn nothing but a pressure pot. Goddamn.
Yeah, no, that's 100% facts. Like, I don't want to belittle, what the generations before us came through, because it was a different time, and they definitely dealt with certain things that we wouldn't even be able to understand because we just didn't deal with it at the same levels. But it's the same difference when it's being passed down. It's like generational trauma can be passed down. I mean, it is passed down, but that trauma might not fit the era that we in. You know what I'm saying? So that be kind of throwing stuff off too. Cause I'm not gonna sit here and lie either. Like, my parents was hard working.
Mm-hmm.
They was hard working, and they believe in, like, hey, go to a job, get that job, excel at that job, make that job into a living type deal. Mm-hmm. So like certain stuff that they went through in terms of like that push to get what they wanted out of life, I'm not gonna understand that to a degree because of the things that I'm dealing with from a fast-paced, moving society that just doesn't even deal with the traumas that y'all were dealing with. My new traumas is how to make the money faster.
Yeah, how to get it
down. How to make the money faster without breaking my back for 45 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And respect to the breaking the back, because like that shows the resolve. It's just that ain't a real thing no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all was breaking y'all back for X. I'm breaking my back for something completely different. And that's where I'm at. I would say when it comes to generational trauma, it's something that needs to be discussed in the household so that, hey, we can understand where you're coming from better. And when I say discuss in the household, not when you're mad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I did want to just talk to y'all, just kind of let y'all know how I'm feeling, what I'm feeling like, and make it make sense from that angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where generational trauma gets weird for me, is because, like, yeah, it can be invisible, but I know as a kid, I was telling them like, man, y'all really pushing, projecting everything that went on with y'all on me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer invisible because I'm letting you know. And same thing with us. It's like maybe your friends might be like, hey, yo, bro, something's going on. It's no longer invisible. I brought it up. How do we go from there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, oh boy, you giving me some fire ass segues. How do we go from there? Right? How do we go from there? Now imagine this. Let's flip it a little bit. Now we've already talked about how trauma can be passed down, how trauma can be weaponized, how trauma can be used as a currency, different things like that, how it can be invisible. Let's dial in on weaponized a little bit more. What happens when somebody uses that shared trauma, like your significant other, to keep you with them? How do y'all feel about that? To keep you around, to keep you a friend, like have y'all, and this is a very sensitive thing, so yeah. I get it, but I've literally had a friend who was such let me be nice with my words, was such a seeker of validation and attention that they would falsify killing themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm talking about y'all. Like, literally would, like, when her boyfriend or, like, was about to break up with her or stuff like that, the motherfucker would disappear from everybody, fake write a kill herself letter. Mm-hmm. All type of shit.
No, that ain't right.
How do y'all feel about that? And do y'all feel like that's grounds? What do y'all feel like that's grounds for, actually? I'm not even going to feed that last line. What do you guys feel like that's ground for when somebody uses trauma or something traumatic like that for their own good, to service their own good?
So what I say to it, bro, and it comes with maturity, obviously, like, cause I'm a strong believer in sticking by your friends, right?
Thanks.
Or sticking by your significant other, any of that type of stuff. I'm 100% with, but you have to have discernment, man. If you can catch somebody weaponizing something as serious as clocking out, or you know what I'm saying, like doing that, no, you gotta separate yourself from some of that and let them know, or don't let them know. One of the two, you have to choose yourself in that, because again, misery loves company. Thanks. And as they're doing that, that's messing up your homeostasis. That's messing up your
That's a big word for Elmo. Damn. Yeah. It said homeostasis in the middle of a conversation.
That's messing
up. Who the fuck just whips out that?
That's messing up your baseline, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes down to it, people want attention. We are social creatures, and when you're going through something, that's when you want somebody there for you. Some people, though, manipulate and abuse that in order to feel better about themselves and or really just get stuff out of you. That's another thing. Okay, so here's my no-nos for like this scenario that you're saying, weaponizing. If somebody is weaponizing trauma on you and they're trying to get something out of you, or if they're overly overbearing about it, like, oh my God, you know, I just went through that. Like, oh my God, why are you being so mean? No, cut that out, because now you're not being seen and you're being used. That's a no.
Yeah.
No. If you have a genuine friend that's going through something, they keeping to themselves, and or they're really asking for advice, you should have the discernment to see that. But if you can't discern that you're being used, that's on you. You know what I mean? Like, it's messed up, but like, that's just what it is. That's maturity, though. Like, I used to be, hey, I'm here the whole entire time, through thick and thin, whatever you need. Now I have to do a double check. Like, hold up, are you just manipulating me? Are you just trying to get something out of me? Are you just over here whining to whine?
Whining to whine.
That's whack. You know what I'm saying? That's trash. I'm not for that. So I get what you're saying for sure.
Absolutely, man. So to pretty much sum things up, bro, as we come to, close to the end of today's podcast and conversation, shit, is there any closing remarks that, you would like to say about this? Because I do have just a end remark based on just like a quote I came up with for this segment.
100%.
And the quote for this segment is, you ready for it?
Yeah,
you ready to hear that? So the quote for this segment is, trauma may shape the characters behind us. But that does not mean the story ends there. Because healing starts when you make the decision that it's still your story to write.
Oh, good answer.
You hear me, my nigga?
Good answer.
And that's just how it goes, bro. And that's just my personal feeling on that. You know, so I don't know my boy want to close off anything else, but I feel like, hey, if you are able to identify your trauma at this age and you know what the issues are,
so
take your time, pick that pen back up, man.
I'll
rewrite that story.
That is super scary. Boy, we'll chop it up afterwards, but like that quote is very good.
Bitch. I just turned it to my thing.
It's actively insane.
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe.
All I would cap off on my closing remarks is that when it comes down to it, trauma may shape the way you move, but don't let trauma shape your life. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, take something from Rob. Like he said, most of his traumas at this point, he's turning into power, motivation to get to where he need to go next. Like you can't get stuck. And that's something that I had an issue with, for the last 4 years. I just, like, y'all see me now. Like, I'm just getting my confidence back. Like, I had to go through some extreme healing. I had to go through some hot shit to make it make sense in my brain. But, like, trauma was controlling me at a certain point. Like, I was like, man, I can't get out of bed. I was on that. And God bless me with some amazing friends, as well as family.
You ain't have to tell me on the podcast.
Come check a mug out. But yeah, that's what I'll say, man. Trauma may shape how you move a little bit, but don't let it shape your entire life, man. Like, figure out a way to take control of that. And yeah, with that being said, we a month in.
That's another motherfucking episode of the Day.
Boy, we a month in this piece. Boy, 4 episodes in. We appreciate y'all for popping in the chat.
Please,
putting in some good comments for us to kind of dissect a little bit, add to the conversation that we done had.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks to my boy Rob for being on this.
Thanks to my boy B for being on that, bitch.
But nah, it's only up from here, man. Like, we ain't discussed nothing too crazy yet, but like at the beginning, like we said, we gonna get some like little contests and stuff up in here, especially now that we done made it past a month.
Guests and stuff. We got people that want to get on here. So we got some stuff cooking up now, man.
What else I got for you before we pop off? Follow, like,
subscribe. That was the first time we did that. That was kind of stupid. Share that page, man. We got to get that bitch to 1,000, bro.
Yeah,
tell your fans.
Still got to get it to 1,000.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your brother, your sister, your daughter, your dogs, everybody.
And shoot, let us know about the format. Like, do y'all like, us, diving into stuff like this trauma topic? Do y'all still want more funny stuff? Like, we definitely want to, I'm
about to create that Dropbox too in our inbox on Instagram. Cool. So we're gonna be able to start getting some topic drops, some story drops,
100%
like that. So be looking out for that too, man.
100%.
But thanks y'all for tapping in.
Yeah. Oh, last one. I did forget. So like, I know y'all done seen us change the setup like 4 times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Okay, what y'all like.
I like this one.
Yeah, no, this one was deep. Because I was looking at the live. I was like,
so we might keep this bar.
Yeah, but we'll work on
that, man. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Look out for the topics throughout the week.
Y'all know what it is, man.